Welcome, 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 beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. It's done. Ousmane Dembele is the Ballon d'Or winner for the 2024-2025 season. It was never a doubt. What I said since back in May is that I think Yamal is going to be much closer than he should be. I don't think Yamal deserved to be second. Barely top three. By Dembele. Deserved winner. Champions League, Coupe de France, Ligue 1, UEFA Super Cup, Trophée du Champion, Club World Cup final. And he was the most impactful player in all of those competitions. Apart from the Club World Cup, obviously, because he was injured in the beginning, came off the bench and so on. But I'm so happy for Ousmane Dembélé. And less as a football player, more as a person, because I think this is what football needs. Football needs role models. We don't need someone with an ego, with narcissism. We need someone that's humble. I called Dembele multiple times the Black Messi. The humbleness, bringing his mother to the stage, the tears, talking about his friends from the streets he was at when he grew up. This is the best Ballon d'Or ever. This is a human Ballon d'Or. This is a football Ballon d'Or. This is a special Ballon d'Or. Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele. What a special day. What a special night. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm just so glad for Ousmane Dembele because I've watched him, since he came to PSG. But if we're strictly going to talk about the season, I remember Dembele in the beginning of the season, in those UCL games. I remember what people said. Bench him for Kangili, sell him to Saudi. He's the worst player. He's this and that. But I always believed in him. Why? Because he always showed the desire to be the main man and lead Paris Saint-Germain to the UEFA Champions League. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. From his bench role, coming off the bench versus City, to the hat-trick versus Stuttgart, to the masterclass versus Brest, to owning Liverpool, to cooking Aston Villa, to shushing Arsenal and completing it in the Champions League final versus Inter. The best Champions League player. I mean, Dembele. There was a little bit of suspension. There was no leaks, no names, nothing. Even though I knew Dembele was going to win it, you never know. It's a question mark, the suspense. And shout out to France Football. Shout out to the Ballon d'Or for making that suspense. This is something needed for the Ballon d'Or to be more entertaining, to feel more lively. And Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele. Where's Dembele? Let me add Dembele. And there he is. There, Dembele. Dembele, man. And when they brought up, when they showed like Yamal and Dembele, and then you hear the entire auditorium screaming, Ousmane, Ousmane, Ousmane. He has the streets. He has the streets. None of those fugazi football legends glazing Yamal, Mateus, all of these bums couldn't care less. Shout out to the voters. You did football proud. You didn't make me as a PSG supporter proud. You made football proud. You made football proud. Because if Dembele did not win this Ballon d'Or, there would be a lot of problems. Just like Nasser Khalifi said, there would be a lot of problems. Huge problems with the sport, with France Football, with the Ballon d'Or, with everything regarding it. And here's a video of the ultras outside of the game. Let me show this. Here the ultras outside. Dembele in tears. I mean, look at these pictures, man. He's fought so hard, not just in his PSG career, but his entire career. Shining at Stade de Rennes, going to Dortmund, shining again, making a 150 million. I still think is the third highest price tag of all time, higher than Isak still. It's not, and it didn't go well at Barca, but he kept faith, didn't give up. And I mean, Ousmane Dembele has always been so talented, but because of the climate around him and his mentality just didn't go right. But this season, it went absolutely perfect. Just if he didn't get that injury, fuck you, Deschamps. If Dembele didn't get that injury and was part of the full Club World Cup, maybe we would have gone different. We don't know. Ousmane Dembele. And by the way, this fucking hype with the women's Ballon d'Or is fucking disgusting, man. But yeah, one thing though, I want to discuss more than the Ousmane Dembele. Have they posted it? No, they have not. I want to see the top 10. Top 10 Ballon d'Or. That's something I want to discuss. We can discuss even the top 30 entirely. Here's the top 10. Dembele first. Beautiful. Lamine Yamal second. I knew it was going to happen. I don't think he should be that high. But we'll accept it. Vitinha third. Very happy to have two Paris Saint-Germain players in the top 3. And then we come to him. Mohamed Salah in fourth spot. And I'm also scared that means Achraf Hakimi will not win the African Ballon d'Or and it would go to Mohamed Salah for legit stat padding versus farmers. Filthy. Rafinha fifth. How is Salah ahead of Rafinha? How is Salah ahead of Rafinha? Look at me seriously. You know, you can put Rafinha fourth, Hakimi fifth, or switch them around, but Salah should not be there. Palmer 8th. Did Palmer have a better season than Nuno Mendes and Donnarumma? Why was Palmer that high? PR. Why was Yamal that high? PR. Why was Salah that high? PR. Why did Dembele win the PR? Why did Dembele win the Ballon d'Or? Anti-PR. Anti-PR. And that's what I love about this Ballon d'Or as well. Dembele did it against the odds. Because everyone that knows football, understands football, understood that Dembele deserves the Ballon d'Or this year. But because of the glazing of an 18-year-old, irrelevant 14 out of 20 dribbles that didn't lead to anything, we were suddenly in a situation where you have to answer the question, does Dembele deserve the Ballon d'Or or Yamal? One of the stupidest questions I've ever heard in my life. And I'm so glad this day came. Because we've been waiting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 month. 30 to 1 day. We've just been waiting and waiting. We sat here a couple of hours. The ceremony went so slow. And we finally here. And it's over. I don't have to hear Yamal Ballon d'Or anymore. I don't have to hear anything anymore, man. Damn booze, damn booze. Damn booze, damn booze, damn booze, damn booze. I mean, we've had 3 previous PSG Ballon d'Or winners at PSG, Messi twice and Weah, but you know, all of them have their own asterisks. Dembele, there is no asterisks. There is no asterisks. He won it because of what he did for Paris Saint-Germain this season. In the league, in the cups, and most notably the Champions League. And even at a little cheeky Club World Cup, little cheeky UEFA Super Cup as well. Ousmane Dembele. Special player. Special human. Everything special. Ousmane Dembele. Look how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful, man. Damn booze, man. What is this, man? Damn booze. And Mbappe? We saw Yamal crying there and everything. But I know Mbappe is crying as well. We gave you 7 years to potentially do this. And you just spat on us. Gave them booze 1 year. And he gave it back to us. Ousmane Dembele. I mean, what a great moment for football. What a great moment for Ousmane Dembele. You know, we just lost to Marseille, but I'm just so happy for Dembele joining this list of World Cup, Champions League, Ballon d'Or winner. You know, hearing his name, Ousmane Ballon d'Or, Ousmane Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or winner. The Ballon d'Or winner. Ousmane Dembele recreating this photo. I didn't even notice this picture had that part of it. PSG obviously won Best Club of the Year as well. Absolutely beautiful. Luis Enrique. Donnarumma won Goalkeeper of the Year. Obviously Doué came second in the Copa Trophy. And Luis Enrique... was it before? Luis Enrique won Manager of the Year. Special season, capped off in a special way. The only other thing we could have won was do a Copa trophy, but Yamal takes it. But now, we have fully celebrated off last season, which was a special season. Not just for PSG, but for football. And now it's time to go back to back. Now it's time, we finished off the celebration, popped off the champagne, we've done all of that. Now it's time to celebrate. Now it's time to lock in for the 2025-2026 season, because we want to be here again. I want as many PSG players again at the nominations. I want us to win all these awards. It's going to be tough next year with the World Cup. It's not going to be that much Paris Saint-Germain involved. It's going to be World Cup involved, what they do with their national teams. But we will be there. That's been it for the short summary. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to tune in for the post-match podcast. And as usual, allez, Paris.